Hi guys, it's Rowan from JB Tooltech again, and I've got Josh with me, and we're just going to talk about the torque measurement side of things, where we have a range of tools called Tanishi. They come in the form of calibrated torque wrenches from all sizes right through, probably for up to maybe 2,000. That's probably as much as we want to pull in a torque wrench. So they come in various lengths and various configurations and various ways to set them. But they're a pretty basic setup, and yeah, so that's a real good tool. We always find that we can calibrate those full scale all the time very easily. Now, how we establish like torques a lot of the time is that you can be nominated at a torque by somebody, but does that applied load come out to a residual load? Does that torque that we're doing real time, does that torque translate into what's actually been done at the bolt or at the joint? So how we actually measure that is we have two ways. We have transducers. Now these transducers will go in line with your tool, with your socket, with your joint, and it'll give you a readout. So that's a cordless one. It'll give you a readout. You'll be able to establish whether the applied torque is going to be the residual torque, and that's how we calculate it out. Very simple way to do it, and they come in all different sizes. But we need that to be able to, get to the real joint analysis and work out what's happening at the joint if we're using a dynamic tool to do up a bolt. So they're the types of transducers we do. Now, occasionally, when you are looking for a bolt stretch or a bolt load, you probably don't really know what you need, and there's not lots of ways to measure it. So what we do have here is we have an ultrasonic. So we have an ultrasonic test machine. So what that is, that just sends a wave down the bolt and back, and we measure the time of that wave. And once we establish what the time of that wave is, we can work out what the load is being applied on that bolt and what the kilonewtons are that have been applied to that bolt, and we can translate that into a newton meter or a foot-pound torque or just a kilonewton load, whatever you want to do. So yeah, that's how we establish what we need to do, because the variations in bolting, whether it's dry or wet, whether it's coated, whether it's whether we're using moly grease or whatever, it all changes the result on that dynamic torque. So we need to establish where we're at before we actually tell the customer what he needs. So that's why we have all this measurement equipment. Now with all this torque equipment as well, we have a calibration area where we calibrate this. I'll talk more about that soon. Thanks guys.